All right. You know, when you look at violence over there and you wonder, could it ever happen over here? Well, for one thing, our people are pretty strong, but we also have some strong people looking at our backs. And these two next gentlemen fit the bill. Navy SEALs Vice Admiral Joseph McGuire, Lieutenant Jason Redmond. They both join me right now. They were ringing the opening bell this morning at the corner of Wallenborough, the New York Stock Exchange. Who knew that they were going to create such financial havoc? But they're spreading the word about the Warrior Fund, which helps the Navy SEALs, their families, and anyone, of course, wounded in combat. And these gentlemen know a thing or two about that, including the good lieutenant who sits with me right now. You were talking how you got your wounds in battle a couple of years ago in Iraq, right?
That's correct. We were operating in Al Anbar, and my squad went out, got into a large engagement with a slightly larger force. A couple of guys got wounded, including myself, but typical SEAL fashion, fought back, overcame the odds, and everybody came home.
Do you think, Lieutenant, when you look at that, and good luck in your continued recovery, I understand you've had so many operations you can't count, but you know, a lot of people say, hey, we're going to be Greece pretty soon. We're going to have people rioting everywhere. Do you think that would ever happen here?
I like to think that the foundations of this country and the caliber of the people in this country will preserve what we have, and that people won't ever get to that level. You know, through education and the greatness of this nation, I think that we're all smart enough and level-headed enough to rationalize our way through these situations.
All right. You know, Admiral, besides kicking off what seemed to be a meltdown today, for which I'll forgive you, do you look at, you know, there you are at the New York Stock Exchange, and there, you know, all of you heroes are there. And for all of those guys and us guys and people like me who report on, obsessed with money and obsessed with who's doing what and who's gaining the advantage here and there, you guys just don't seem at all remotely into that.
Oh, I don't think that's a true statement there, Neil. I mean, the thing that makes America great is our economy. We can only be a superpower in the nation that we are as long as we have a robust economy. And it was wonderful to be with the folks at the New York Stock Exchange, the people who are actually, you know, lubricating the wheels of the economy, and we received such a warm welcome from them. But we understand full well that we need the support of the American people, but we also need the resources to do our job. And the American people have resourced United States Special Operations Command and Naval Special Warfare in particular, and we would not be able to do that without the robust economy and the work that those folks at Wall Street do.
So, Admiral, we don't want to get into just big political points or economic points, but then when you look at the globe and people getting real nervous, oh, the people are going nuts everywhere, they're going to be rioting in the streets everywhere, I'll ask you what I asked the good lieutenant. You see that kind of thing ever happening here?
No, I don't. You know, one thing, Neil, I always believe is, you know, never bet against the American people. And although I do think that we're not, you know, devoid from what's going on over there in Greece and with the euro, I do think that the American people are smarter than that, and I've got every confidence that something like that would not happen here.
Lieutenant, when you come back, and after all the wounds you dealt with and then all the pain you dealt with, I was noticing you're not bitter in the least. You don't complain. You don't whine. How do you do that?
Just a very blessed individual. I'm thankful for every day I was given, especially after that night. You learn how short life is. So that's probably one of the main reasons. On the flip side of that, on the warrior mentality side of things and things I explain to guys, unfortunately war at its most basic level, it's one man fighting against another. And with all the technology and all our capabilities out there, ultimately, no matter all the planning you do, somebody is going to get wounded and people are going to get killed. So we try to do everything we can to mitigate those risks, yeah. But sometimes it's part of the job. For me, it was part of my job. Now I drive forward and stay positive, and they put Humpty Dumpty back together.
Indeed they did, and that continued success, Lieutenant. A great young man, an only slightly older man. Admiral, good seeing you. Thanks for all you do, guys. You allow guys like me to just read a prompter.
Well,
Karl Rove is next.